Picture this. You're not in a classroom. You're not in some marble temple. You're down by the docks, end of the day, sky turning purple. Old money talking retirement, young guys talking hustle. Socrates walks in like that older dude who doesn't flex, doesn't brag, but somehow runs the whole conversation with questions. Somebody asked the big one, what is justice? Now everybody's got an answer. The old rich guy says, justice is simple, tell the truth, pay your debts, don't cheat people. Sounds solid, right? Socrates leans back, okay, but if your friend loans you a weapon and then goes insane and wants it back to hurt someone, is it just to return it? Silence, because now we see something. Justice can't just be rule following, it can't just be I kept my promise. Sometimes keeping the promise makes things worse. Old guy quietly exits, next guy steps up. You help your friends, you hurt your enemies, that's justice. Street code, loyalty over everything. Socrates nods slowly. But what if you're wrong about who your friends are? And deeper, does hurting someone make them better or worse? Because if justice is supposed to make the world better, how can it include making people worse? That definition cracks too. And the loud one jumps in, Thrasymachus. Big energy, all edge. He says what half the world secretly believes. Justice is just the advantage of the strong. The people in power write the rules, you obey, that's justice. In other words, might makes right. If you win, you're just, if you lose, you're wrong. Socrates doesn't shout back, he just asks, do rulers ever make mistakes? Well, yeah. So if they make a rule that actually hurts them and you obey it, is that justice? Now the strong guy theory stumbles. Socrates keeps pressing. A real doctor serves the patient. A real pilot serves the passengers. A real leader serves the people. If you're only serving yourself, you're not a ruler, you're a tyrant. And here's the real tension. Thrasymachus says, the unjust person wins, they get rich, they take power, they dominate. And we all know that sometimes that's true. So Plato plants the seed as being just actually worth it. Or is it just something weak people invented to control the strong? That's where section 1 leaves you, not with an answer, just with the room getting quiet. Justice isn't paying debts, helping friends, obeying power. It's something deeper, something structural. Socrates says, let's build a city from scratch. Maybe we can see justice there. And that's when things get big.
All right. Socrates says, you can't see justice in one man yet. Too small, too messy. Let's zoom out. Let's build a city from scratch. Not Rome, not Athens, not Vegas, not Wall Street. Blank canvas, no ego, no history, no influencers, no campaign signs, just humans, hungry. Step 1, food. Somebody's gotta farm, somebody's gotta bake, somebody's gotta build houses, make shoes, weave cloth, keep the rain off. So Socrates sketches the healthy city. Simple. People do one job, the job they're naturally good at. They trade, they don't overreach, they don't cosplay as something they're not. Farmer farms, builder builds, shoemaker makes shoes. Nobody trying to be CEO, rapper, influencer, and crypto prophet at the same time. Just craft, just function. It's clean, it's efficient, it works. But then somebody in the room says, hold up, no seasoning, no dessert, no art, no luxury, no couches, no soft blankets, no nightlife. You can almost hear Plato smirking. Because here comes the pivot. Socrates says, okay, you want comfort, you want flavor, you want more than survival. Now the city grows. We need artists, cooks, merchants, traders, designers, perfume makers, furniture builders, poets, and with more stuff comes more desire. With more desire comes more competition. With more competition comes friction, and friction leads to war, because now the city needs land, needs protection, needs muscle. Enter the guardians, not politicians. Warriors, disciplined, sharp, trained from childhood. But here's the twist, they can't just be strong, they have to be gentle too. Socrates compares them to well-trained dogs. Yeah, dogs, fierce to enemies, soft to friends. They recognize who belong. Strength plus wisdom, not rage, not ego, not random violence, controlled fire. And now things start getting strange, because Socrates says,
these guardians can't own property.
no mansions, no bank accounts, no secret offshore investments. They eat together, train together, live together, no private wealth. Why? Because if they own things, they'll start protecting their stuff instead of protecting the city. And that's the first radical. No power without ownership. Try selling that on cable news, but he's not done. Guardians also don't get private families. Yeah, no nuclear family structure like we know it. Children raised collectively. Parents don't know which kids are biologically theirs. Why? Because loyalty to blood can corrupt loyalty to the whole. If you're making decisions for your son instead of the city, justice bends. Now you feel the tension, right? This is where people lean back and go,
Whoa, Socrates, you building a city or starting a cult?
but stay with it, because Plato isn't given a housing policy. He's doing psychological x-ray work. He's asking, what happens when desire runs the system? What happens when money controls power? What happens when private interest overrides the common good? He's not describing Athens, he's diagnosing it. And underneath the architecture, there's a deeper rhythm forming. Three classes emerging: producers, guardians, rulers, hands, heart, head, and justice. Justice starts to look like this: everyone doing their proper function. No overreach, no chaos, no ego grabbing at everything. When the farmer tries to rule, disorder. When the warrior tries to hoard wealth, corruption. When appetite runs the throne, collapse. Justice might not be about rules, it might be about harmony. Like jazz, bass holds the line, drums keep pulse, horn takes the lead but doesn't try to be everything. Each part doing its part, nobody soloing forever, nobody silenced either. Now Socrates drops the next hook.
If this city is just when each part does its role, maybe the soul works the same way.
Boom. City was a mirror. We weren't building governor, we were building anatomy. And that's where it gets personal, 'cause now it's not about farmers and warriors, it's about you. Your appetites, your anger, your reason. Are they balanced, or is one of them running the block? Section 2 ends with the blueprint drawn, but the psychological game just beginning. Next up, we zoom inside the human soul, and things get even wilder.
So Socrates says, if justice in the city is harmony between its parts, maybe justice in a person is harmony too. Translation: you're not one thing, you're a committee, and that committee does not always agree. First part: appetite, the hunger, food, sex, money, comfort, more, more, more. It doesn't negotiate, it doesn't philosophize, it just wants. It's the late night Uber Eats, it's the one more episode, it's the impulse buy, it's the voice saying, forget tomorrow. Nothing evil about it, it keeps you alive, but left alone, it runs the house into debt. Second part: spirit, not ghost spirit, more like fire, pride, anger, honor, ambition, that part of you that says, don't disrespect me. It's what makes you stand up straight, it's what makes you defend someone weaker, it's what makes you fight back, but it's also road rage, it's ego, it's tribal loyalty turned violent. It's the comment section at 2 a.m. Third part:
Reason, the quiet one, the planner, the chess player, the long-term thinker. The part that says, maybe don't send that text. Maybe save the money, maybe think this through. It sees consequences, it sees patterns, it zooms out. Now here's the key. Socrates notices something subtle. Sometimes you want a thing, but also don't want it. You crave the cake, but you also say, no, I'm dieting. Two voices, one body. That means the soul isn't one solid block, it's layered. Appetite pulls, reason resists, and spirit? Spirit chooses sides, that's wild. Spirit can back appetite, yeah, treat yourself, you deserve it. Or spirit can back reason, no, we're better than this. Spirit is the enforcer, the bouncer in the club of your mind. So justice in the soul looks like this. Reason leads, spirit supports reason, appetite listens, not suppressed, not destroyed, just ordered like the city producer's appetite. Guardian, spirit, rulers, reason. When reason rules, you're steady. When spirit rules, you're aggressive. When appetite rules, you're chaotic. And Plato is low-key throwing shade at society here. Because look around, who's running most systems? Appetite. Consumerism, clicks, endless upgrades, pleasure on demand. If appetite is king, you get short-term thrills and long-term decay. If spirit takes over, you get nationalism, tribalism, endless culture wars, everyone ready to fight. But if reason rules, you get balance, discipline, measured strength. Plato's not anti-pleasure, he's anti-anarchy inside the soul. Because here's the uncomfortable part. An unjust person might look successful, might be rich, might dominate, might win elections, might own the building, but internally, civil war. Appetite clawing, spirit raging, reason gagged in the trunk, and Plato says that's misery. Even if it looks like victory, because harmony feels better than chaos. He flips Thrasymachus' claim, the unjust man isn't powerful, he's divided, he's unstable, he's ruled by the loudest impulse, and that's fragile. Justice isn't about being nice, it's about being integrated, aligned, whole. When your reason sets direction, your spirit fuels it, and your appetites follow. You're not weak, you're dangerous in the best way. Controlled power, like a trained guardian, like a jazz trio locked into rhythm. Now here's the twist. If reason is supposed to rule, who trains reason? How do you produce people capable of that kind of internal order? Because most of us, we're improvising. Plato says, education, deep education, not just skills, formation, music, gymnastics, math, philosophy, shaping the soul before appetite hardens and spirit calcifies. And that's where things are headed next. Because Plato's about to say something so controversial, it still triggers people today. He's about to talk about who should rule the city, and spoiler, it's not the richest, not the loudest, not the most popular. It's the philosophers, yeah. The thinkers, the ones who've trained reason to see beyond shadows and to understand that most people are living in a cave.
So, Socrates drops it casually, like he's mentioning the weather. Unless philosophers become kings, or kings truly become philosophers, cities will have no rest from evil. Room freezes. Because nobody in that dockside circle thinks philosophers should run anything. Philosophers, they're the weird ones, the overthinkers, the ones staring at the sky while the market opens. The guys asking, what is justice? While everyone else is trying to get paid. And Socrates says, exactly. That's why. Because the people who crave power shouldn't have it, and the ones fit to rule don't crave it. That's the first inversion. In most cities, the ambitious climb. They want status, recognition, followers, control. But ambition can be appetite wearing a suit, or spirit with a campaign slogan. Plato says, the ruler must be ruled by reason. Not money, not ego, not applause. So what is a philosopher really? Not a professor, not a debate bro. A philosopher is someone who loves wisdom the way others love gold. They chase truth, not because it trends, not because it pays, but because it's real. And here's where it gets heavy. Socrates says most people don't know what's real. They're chasing reflections, opinions, images, reputation. Philosophers, they want what is, the underlying structure, the permanent, the thing behind the thing. And at the top of that structure is something called the good. Not good vibes, not good branding. The good, the source that makes everything else intelligible. Socrates compares it to the sun. The sun doesn't just light things up. It makes sight possible. It makes growth possible. It makes life possible. Without the sun, shapes exist, but you can't see them. Without the good, facts exist, but you don't understand them. The philosopher is someone who has turned toward that sun, who has trained their mind to see clearly. And here's the twist. They don't want to rule, they'd rather stay in contemplation. Study, think, search. But Socrates says, if they don't rule, someone worse will. So ruling becomes a duty, not a prize. And now Plato pushes further. Education must be brutal. Years of music and discipline to shape the emotions. Years of mathematics to sharpen abstraction. Years of dialectic to dismantle illusions. This isn't weekend self-help, this is a 50-year formation. Because if you give power to someone half-formed, you get disaster. Now here's where it gets extra radical. Women can be guardians too. Yeah, in ancient Greece, Plato says, if women have the same nature, they get the same training, same wrestling, same philosophy, same responsibility. Not because it's trendy, but because justice demands we assign roles by ability, not by gender. That's centuries ahead of its time, but don't get comfortable, because Plato is not building democracy. He doesn't trust majority rule. He thinks democracy elevates appetite. It flatters the crowd, it becomes a marketplace of desires. Whoever promises the most pleasure wins. And eventually, the crowd elects a protector. Someone loud, charismatic, aggressive. Someone who says, I alone can fix it. And that's how tyranny is born. But that's for the next section. Right now, we're sitting with this. A just city requires rulers who understand reality, who aren't hypnotized by wealth or praise, who see beyond shadows, and that's rare. Which is why Socrates knows his city is almost impossible. It's an ideal, a model, a measuring stick. He's not describing Athens, he's critiquing it. He's saying, until reason rules both in the city and in the soul, we're improvising chaos. And here's the haunting part. The philosopher who sees truth must return to the cave, must step back into noise, back into politics, back into misunderstanding to serve. And they won't be thanked. They might be mocked. Or worse. Socrates knows that firsthand, because the city doesn't love being told it's asleep. So section 4 leaves us here. Power should belong to those who love truth more than power, which explains why it almost never does. And now, we're ready for the most dramatic moment in the whole book. Socrates says, picture this. Not a palace, not a senate, a cave, deep underground, cold walls, fire behind you, chains on your wrists. You've been there since birth, never turned your head, never seen outside in front of you. A wall, on that wall, shadows, shapes moving, echoes bouncing. And that's your whole world. You name the shadows, you debate the shadows, you build careers explaining the shadows.
You think you're educated because you can predict which shadow moves next. But you've never seen the source behind you. There's a fire between the fire and you. People walk carrying objects, statues, figures, tools. The shadows you see are projections, copies of copies and the chained prisoners. That's us. Yeah, not villains, not fools, just unturned. Now imagine, one prisoner breaks free. At first it hurts, neck stiff, eyes burning, light unbearable. He resists, because the familiar shadow world felt safe. Truth is violent to comfort. He stumbles toward the fire, sees the objects, realizes, oh, those weren't reality, they were imitations. But he's not done. He climbs upward out of the cave into sunlight, and the sun blinds him. Total disorientation. For a while, he can't see anything clearly, but slowly, shapes sharpen, trees, water, sky, and finally, he looks at the sun itself. Not directly, but enough to understand. This is the source. This makes everything visible. This gives life. That's the form of the good, the ultimate reality, the thing that makes truth possible. Now here's the ache. He feels compassion. He goes back down, back into the cave, back to tell the others, guys, you're watching projections, there's a bigger world. But when he speaks, his eyes don't adjust well in the dark. He looks confused, stumbles, the others laugh. Going outside ruined him. And if he tries to unchain them, if he forces them toward the light, they might kill him. Plato isn't subtle here. Socrates was executed. The city killed the man who tried to turn its head. Now breathe, because this allegory isn't just political, it's personal. Appetite loves shadows. Spirit defends shadows. Reason alone climbs education. For Plato is not stuffing information into a skull. It's turning the soul around, a reorientation. From opinion to knowledge, from noise to clarity, from image to essence. And most people, they never turn. Because the cave has entertainment, tribes, familiarity, status games. Leaving means losing social approval. Leaving means discomfort. Leaving means admitting you were wrong. That's expensive. So the philosopher, the one who climbs, doesn't become superior. He becomes responsible because he's seen, and seeing creates application. That's why the philosopher must rule. Not because he wants power, but because he knows what reality looks like. And if the blind lead the blind, the whole city walks off a cliff. Now here's the subtle brilliance. The cave isn't a place, it's a condition. You can be rich in the cave, famous in the cave, educated in the cave, still chained. Because chains aren't iron. They're assumptions, habits, unquestioned beliefs. Plato's asking you, what wall are you staring at? What shadows have you mistaken for truth? And are you willing to turn your head? Section 5 leaves you at the mouth of the cave, half in shadow, half in light. Because once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. And next, Plato gets political again. He's going to explain how cities decay, how democracy slides, how freedom mutates, how tyranny is born. Section 6, the slow fall from reason to chaos.
Socrates says, perfect cities don't last. Nothing balanced stays balanced forever. Entropy creeps. Desire shifts. Generations forget why the structure was built. So here's the slow slide. First comes aristocracy, not blue blood aristocracy. Ruled by the best, reason led, philosopher guided. Order in the soul, order in the city, harmony. But then, children of the wise rulers aren't as disciplined. Spirit starts flexing harder than reason. Honor becomes more important than wisdom. Welcome to democracy. Ruled by the proud, think military culture. Honor, glory, discipline. Not evil, just intense. These people value victory. They respect strength, they're decent, but they're not tendentanyev. Spirit now runs the system, and spirit always wants recognition. So slowly, wealth creeps in. Because honor is nice, but comfort is better. Now we slide into oligarchy. Ruled by the rich, money becomes the metric. Property is everything. And here's the crack. When wealth determines power, the city splits. Two cities inside one. The rich, the poor. Resentment grows. Fear grows. The wealthy guard their assets. The poor grow restless. Appetite is gaining ground eventually. The poor outnumber the rich. They revolt. They demand equality. Now we arrive at democracy, and Plato describes democracy like a candy store. Freedom everywhere, do what you want, say what you want, be whoever you want. No rigid hierarchy, no strict discipline. Diversity of lifestyles, total choice sounds modern, right? Plato doesn't hate freedom, but he sees the danger when appetite rules, discipline dissolves in a democracy. All desires claim equal legitimacy. The student doesn't respect the teacher. The child doesn't respect the parent. The citizen doesn't respect the law. Authority becomes suspicious. Restraint becomes oppression. The city becomes a buffet. And people start choosing leaders who flatter them, who promise more freedom, more pleasure, more indulgence. And then, out of the chaos comes a strong figure, a champion of the people. He says, I'll protect you. I'll defend your freedom. I'll crush your enemies. He feeds on fear. He stirs up crisis. He needs enemies to justify control. And slowly, freedom turns into dependence. The champion becomes the ruler. The ruler becomes paranoid. The paranoid ruler eliminates threats. Now we're at the final stage, tyranny. The worst regime where one man's appetite runs the entire city. And here's Plato's genius. Every political system mirrors a soul. Aristocracy equal reason ruling. Democracy, oligarchy, disciplined appetite. Democracy, scattered appetite. Tyranny, lawless appetite. The tyrant isn't powerful. He's enslaved to desire, enslaved to fear, enslaved to suspicion. He trusts no one. He sleeps poorly, he eliminates friends, he manufactures threats. Externally dominant, internally terrified, Plato flips the script again. The unjust ruler, who looks strong, is spiritually weakest. Because appetite has no ceiling. It can never say enough. And when a person or a city loses internal hierarchy, collapse follows. This isn't just ancient politics, it's psychological. You can feel it in yourself when reason weakens and spirit rages and appetite splinters. You feel scattered, you feel unstable. Same with cities, same with civilizations. Plato isn't predicting doom, he's mapping a pattern. And the warning hums under the surface. Freedom without discipline can birth chains. Appetite without reason becomes self-destruction. Section 6 leaves us staring at the tyrant, not as a monster from a distance, but as the final stage of ungoverned desire. Next, Plato zooms even closer. He takes us inside the tyrant's mind. Section 7, the psychology of the most miserable man alive.
Socrates says, you want to see injustice fully grown. Don't just look at a regime. Look at a soul where appetite has seized the throne. Remember democracy. Desires everywhere. No hierarchy. Everything equal. Now imagine one desire gets stronger than the rest. A dark one. Obsessive. Unrestrained. It starts whispering at night. More. More pleasure. More control. More domination. It doesn't negotiate with reason, it doesn't consult spirit. It takes. That's the birth of the tyrant. Not first in politics, first in private. Because tyranny begins inside. Plato describes the tyrannical man as someone ruled by unlawful desires. The kind that wake up when discipline goes to sleep. The kind that don't care who gets hurt. At first he indulges quietly. Secret appetites. Secret schemes. But appetite grows by feeding. And soon, friends become tools, lovers become property, allies become threats. He trusts no one, because he knows what he would do in their place. The tyrant must isolate, must eliminate rivals, must silence critics, must create enemies to justify control. Externally, he looks powerful, guards around him, wealth flowing, people obey. Internally, he is the most enslaved man alive. Enslaved to craving, enslaved to fear, enslaved to suspicion. He cannot rest, cannot relax, cannot experience simple joy. Because appetite has no finish line. Plato says, the just person is ordered. Reason leads. Spirit supports. Appetite follows. Harmony. The tyrant. Appetite commands. Spirit enforces blindly. Reason is chained in the basement. Civil war inside, and civil war is exhausting. Now Socrates makes a bold claim. The just person is happier than the unjust one, even if the unjust one has more money, more influence, more visible success. Why? Because there are three kinds of pleasure. Pleasure of appetite, pleasure of honor, pleasure of knowledge, and the philosopher. The one ruled by reason has tasted all three. They felt appetite, they felt ambition. They felt understanding. But the tyrant, he only knows appetite. He hasn't experienced the calm clarity of seeing truth. He hasn't experienced the deep satisfaction of alignment. He's stuck in the shallow end, chasing the next hit. Plato even quantifies it. He says the just life is hundreds of times more pleasant. Not louder, not flashier, but fuller. Because harmony produces peace, and peace is a pleasure tyrants can't buy. Now pause, because this isn't just ancient politics. It's modern. How many leaders look dominant but are clearly anxious? How many influencers look wealthy but seem restless? How many of us scroll endlessly seeking the next stimulation? Tiny tyrannies, micro-tyrannies, moments where appetite runs unchecked. Plato's argument lands like this: injustice doesn't just hurt others, it fractures you. Justice isn't moral decoration, it's structural integrity. When reason governs, you're stable. When appetite governs, you're volatile. And volatility always collapses. Section 7 closes on a quiet truth. The tyrant who rules the world but cannot rule himself is the poorest man alive. And the just person who may own little but governs their own soul is free. Now one final movement remains. Plato turns toward art, toward poetry, toward imitation. And then he tells a myth, a story of death, of souls choosing new lives, of cosmic justice. Section 8. The myth of the long echo after the music stops.
Before the myth, though, Plato takes a swing at poets. Yeah. Awkward moment for us. He says most art is imitation, a copy of a copy. A painter paints a bed, but the carpenter made the physical bed, and the carpenter copied the form of bedness, the ideal structure of what a bed is. So art is twice removed from truth, shadow of a shadow, and poetry, dangerous. Because it stirs emotion without guiding reason. It flatters appetite, excites spirit, bypasses intellect. Plato worries that tragedy makes us indulge grief. Epic poetry makes us glorify rage. Art can train the soul badly if it isn't anchored in truth. Now whether we agree or not, his fear is clear. What you consume shapes who rules your inner city. Then he shifts tone. No more argument, just myth. He tells the story of a soldier, killed in battle, body carried to the funeral pyre. But before the flames he wakes up, says he's been somewhere beyond. Describes souls leaving the body and traveling to a crossroads. 2 openings in the sky, 2 in the earth. Souls judge. The just go upward, the unjust go downward. Rewards above, punishments below. 1,000 years of consequence, not eternal torment, not eternal bliss. Cycles. After the 1,000 years, souls gather again. And here's the wild part, they choose their next life. Some rush greedily, a former hero chooses a tyrant's life without examining it closely, still intoxicated by glory. A soul once oppressed chooses power recklessly. Others choose quietly, carefully. Some choose animal lives, some choose obscurity, some choose wisdom. Plato's message. Your character determines your choice. The soul trained by reason chooses well. The undisciplined soul chooses blindly, even after seeing heaven and hell. Because habit follows you. Then the souls drink from the river of forgetfulness. They forget everything. Reborn. Cycle continues. An heir wakes up on the funeral pyre to tell the tale. Plato ends not with proof, but with possibility. He says, even if this myth isn't literal, live as if justice shapes eternity. Because justice isn't just social policy. It's soul architecture. It carries forward across time, across lives, across consequences. The just life is not just happier. It's aligned with reality. And reality has memory. Now step back. Look at the full arc. Justice isn't rule following. It's harmony. City harmony. Soul harmony. Reason ruling. Spirit supporting. Appetite ordered. Caves can be escaped. Regimes can decay. Tyrants can rise. But the real battlefield is inside you. Plato doesn't end with fear. He ends with responsibility. You are choosing the shape of your soul every day. And whatever that shape becomes, you will live inside it. Tonight, tomorrow, maybe beyond. The music fades, firelight flickers, and Socrates, calm as ever, says, the tale was saved and it can save us if we believe it. Silence. Brushes on drums. End of Republic.
So Plato built a city in the sky. Forms, philosopher kings, communal families, no private property for rulers, 50 years of education before you touch power, and Aristotle. He listens, he studies, he respects the teacher. But then he clears his throat and says, let's talk about what actually happens. Plato looks upward. Aristotle looks outward. He collects constitutions, studies real cities, examines Sparta, Athens, Carthage. He compares systems like a mechanic lifting the hood. Plato asks, what is justice in its pure form? Aristotle asks, what works with human beings as they are? Different rhythm. Plato is the architect. Aristotle is the engineer. First critique. Plato wants radical unity. Shared wives, shared children. No private property for guardians. Aristotle says, when everything belongs to everyone, no one feels responsible. What is common to the greatest number receives the least care. Private ownership creates attention, care, attachment. You water your own garden. You repair your own roof. Erase family, you erase natural affection. Erase property, you erase incentive. Aristotle isn't defending greed, he's defending structure. You don't fix corruption by dissolving human nature. You channel it. Second critique. Plato's philosopher king is rare, too rare. You're building a city that depends on perfect rulers. Aristotle says, build institutions that function even when leaders are flawed. Because humans are flawed. That's not pessimism. That's observation. He outlines 3 good forms of government. Monarchy, rule by one for the common good. Aristocracy, rule by the few for the common good. Polity, rule by the many for the common good. And each has a corrupted twin. Monarchy becomes tyranny. Aristocracy becomes oligarchy. Polity becomes mob rule. The difference is simple. Do rulers govern for themselves or for the common good? Sound familiar? Plato's backbone remains. Justice is still about order for the sake of all. But Aristotle lowers it to earth. Less myth, more mechanics. Now here's the big one. The middle class, Aristotle says the most stable state is built on a strong middle class, not extreme wealth, not crushing poverty. The very rich grow arrogant, the very poor grow desperate. But the middle, they value stability. They don't want revolution, they don't want domination, they want proportion. And proportion is everything to Aristotle. His moral philosophy runs on balance. The golden mean. Courage sits between cowardice and recklessness. Generosity between stinginess and waste. Confidence between insecurity and arrogance. Virtue lives in the middle. Politics does too. Too much equality, chaos, too much hierarchy, oppression. Balance sustains. Now step back. Plato wants philosophers to rule because they see the form of the good. Aristotle says, humans are political animals, we flourish in community. The state exists not just to prevent harm, but to cultivate flourishing, eudaimonia. Not pleasure, not wealth, not dominance, flourishing. Living well, living excellently, living in accordance with virtue. The purpose of the city is character formation. Not control, not expansion, formation. You hear the echo, both agree. Politics shapes the soul, government is moral architecture. But Plato trusts enlightened rulers. Aristotle trusts balanced systems. Plato builds upward from ideals, Aristotle builds outward from evidence. Different medicine, same illness, disordered desire. And if Plato's Republic is the dream, Aristotle's politics is the field manual.
Plato divides the soul into 3 parts. Reason, spirit, appetite, a hierarchy. Reason rules, spirit enforces, appetite obeys. Order through structure. Aristotle doesn't split the soul so dramatically. He sees layers, but not civil war. Reason is the highest function, but it doesn't sit on a throne, it guides like a craftsman shaping wood for Aristotle.
Everything has a function. A knife cuts, a horse runs, a seed grows toward light. A human reasons. So the good life is not mystical harmony with a cosmic form. It is excellence in performing your function. Excellence. That's virtue, not perfection, not utopia. Excellence. You are not born virtuous. You are born with potential. Potential for courage, potential for justice, potential for discipline. The potential means nothing unless actualized. That's Aristotle's word, actualization, becoming what you are capable of being. You become just by doing just acts. You become brave by choosing courage repeatedly. You become temperate by practicing restraint over and over, until it becomes habit, until it becomes character. No 1,000-year cosmic judgment, no myth of reincarnated souls choosing lives, no river of forgetfulness. Just daily repetition, formation through action. Plato ends with souls choosing their next life. Aristotle ends with a citizen choosing wisely today, here, in this city, in this lifetime. For Plato, the state exists to mirror the harmony of the soul. For Aristotle, the state exists so humans can flourish. Eudaimonia, not pleasure, not power, flourishing, living well, living excellently. And that flourishing happens in community. Humans are political animals. We don't reach excellence alone. He developed it through law, through education, through shared life. And here's a quiet revolution in Aristotle's thought: friendship. Political life survives on friendship among citizens. Without trust, law feels like force. With trust, law feels natural. Shared values, shared commitments, shared understanding of justice. Plato builds a city ruled by philosophers above the many. Aristotle builds a city balanced among citizens. Plato trusts enlightened rulers. Aristotle trusts structured moderation. Plato reaches upward toward eternal forms. Aristotle studies what is already here. One dreams, one engineers. Plato warns us that appetite can overthrow reason and create a tyrant within. Aristotle designs systems to prevent that overthrow in the real world. Neither abandons virtue, neither abandons justice. They simply disagree on the method. Is harmony achieved through ideal rulers or through cultivated habits, through rare wisdom or through structured balance? And we, still living in cities, still wrestling with desire, still arguing over who should rule, stand between them. Plato lifts our eyes toward the sun. Aristotle steadies our feet on the ground. The Republic gave us the blueprint. Aristotle gives us the discipline. And the sax keeps playing. Reason. Playing.
you.